Hey BookTube! If you're new here, my name is the Book Mage, and if you're not new, then welcome back to my channel. Today's video is following a trend I've seen going round BookTube recently. By recently, I mean like a few months ago. So I think this challenge was started by Holly over at Holly Hearts Books, and I will link her original video in the description. But basically it's very simple. You take a look at your shelves, and any book that you have not yet read, you take that book and you turn it around so you can no longer see the spine. I think it's sort of styled after like those minimalist, like all white type bookshelves that you see a lot on Instagram. I think it's like a current like trend at the moment. I personally like to see all of my beautiful book spines. I mean, for the sake of this challenge, it seems fun. I mean, I don't really know if it's a challenge or a tag or what it is, but I've seen several other booktubers attempt this since Holly posted her video, so I just kind of want to jump on the bandwagon. I think it looks kind of fun. At what point in the day am I not just ready to mess up my shelves at the drop of a hat? That, and I didn't really feel like putting effort into a video today, as you can probably tell, because despite my full face of makeup, I'm just sat here in my pajamas, so there's only so much effort I was willing to put in today. So if you've not already seen them, these are my bookshelves, and I mean they're pretty full. I did do a haul recently and none of those books are on my shelves at the moment because I don't have anywhere to put them. I bought this whole second bookshelf like barely more than a month ago, and it's already full and I already don't have any more room for books, but I'm still playing books. So I feel like this is a good way to gauge like your current physical TBR. And yeah, I mean, if you decided to leave your books that way, it could be encouragement to read them so that you can like see the nice pretty spines again. But I feel like at the end of this video, I'm probably just going to turn them all around again. I don't think I can live that life of just seeing paper. Anyway, yes, without any further ado, let's just mess up my shelves. Okay, so just for the sake of this video, I'm not going to be doing every single shelf because the ones at the bottom, like, you can't even see. I can't even reach there. So just to set your expectations now, I will do like this whole bookcase. But when it comes to this one, like, this is like a manga shelf and I've read basically everything on here anyway, so like, regardless of whether I include it or not, it's gonna look the same. So like, I'll turn this whole shelf like the ones I've read or haven't read, but then everything below that is just kind of like junk, and it's not in any order. Most of the books are all stacked up really weird, and they're not like facing out anyway. I will put myself through the horror of turning all these ones around, but this shelf is like, it's mostly game guides and there's so much crap on it, I don't want to do it. So I'm not going to. So if you're expecting like extreme professionalism, I've already told you, it's pajama day. And this is as high as my camera actually goes. So time to finesse something here. Alright then, while my camera is very precariously perched here, this shelf is going to be embarrassing. This is like my special editions of like hardback fantasy, and like I haven't read any of these. I haven't read the Mistborn series. And I still haven't read The Lives of Locke and Laura, even though I really want to. I only just hauled this one, but like, still haven't read it. Very sad to say, I still have not read Game of Thrones. I'm such a fake fan. And no, I haven't read Joe Abercrombie's The First Law series either. I am planning to get to these like really soon, but I haven't read them yet. Okay, so this one is like, this is a binder of 3 different books, and I have read Interview with a Vampire. So like, I don't think I can keep, I know what I have to do, but like, I've read part of it. That just looks sad now. So moving on to this shelf. Again, if you've seen my book tour, you already know everything on this shelf, pretty much. So I have read all of these Leigh Bardugo books. I've read the Six of Crows duology, Language of Thorns, and King of Scars. So finally, I don't have to turn something round. Except that I have not read Strange the Dreamer or Muse of Nightmares. I feel like these are kind of cheaty because they look like they're still the same colour, no matter which way around you put them. Next, I have these really cool special edition like hardbacks of the Kings of the Wild and Bloody Rose. And I'm like 100 pages into Kings of the Wild. But I still technically haven't finished reading it, so You can hear people screaming. I have still not read The Name of the Wind. Don't judge me. So this giant black brick is the Night Angel trilogy. And I have not read it. But I have read Nevernight and Godsgrave, so I get to leave those ones turned round. Onto the shelf that is mainly my paperbacks. I have, for better or worse, read the entire Shadow and Bone, like, Grisha trilogy. And while I have read An Ember in the Ashes, I have still not read A Torch Against the Night or A Reaper at the Gates. This is another copy of Game of Thrones and another copy I still have not read. Again, look how far I am through Kings of the Wild, but like, I need to be this far if I don't want to turn it around. And another copy of Kings of the Wild that I still haven't read. I think you're probably starting to see a pattern here, that I have a lot of the same books in multiple copies, and I haven't read any of them. Again, The Gutter Prayer, this was like one of my most anticipated reads for this year, and I still have not picked it up. Yeah, another Joe Abercrombie book I have not yet read, but I have read Nevernight and Godsgrave, so at least I get to keep something on this shelf. Okay, onto my hardback shelf, and I feel like I'm doing slightly better on this shelf at least. So I have read, unfortunately, the whole of the Queen of the Tearling saga, or series, or whatever it's called. It sucked. And of course I have read Priory of the Orange Tree, it was fantastic. I have not read Dracul. Wicked Saints gets to stay turned round, but I've not yet read Furyborn. Ooh, but at least now you can see like the nice deckled edges. And I also haven't read any of the rest of the books on this shelf. So next up is my kind of random shelf, and I cannot see a thing on my camera because of where this shelf is, but I will try to reach and turn these around. I have read the first two books, but I have not read King of Ashes or Duskfall. Of course I have read Carry On by Rainbow Rowell, but yeah, as pretty as that book is, I've not read it. Again, you're seeing the issue of the fact that I buy so many books in so many different formats that are all like special editions, and I never read any of them, so I have not read this beautiful special edition of The Gutter Prayer. And even though I have had this copy of Dragonflight for more than 15 years, I have still not read it. Nor have I read Graceling. Next, see, I started Truthwitch, and then it was just really boring, and I've said I want to give this another chance, but like, I still haven't read it. And thankfully for me, I have read all the rest of the books on this shelf. As I've said, I think this is going to be the last shelf I mess with, and luckily for me, I have read all of the Throne of Glass books. So like, we can just zoom in a bit here. Like, we don't need to think about those. But the rest of this shelf isn't looking so good because I have not read a single one of these books. So I have not read Elantris, I have not read any of the Faithful and the Fallen series, and everything in between I have just not touched. So this is going to be a lot of turning books round. Okay, so that's what my shelves look like. Yeah, I don't think I could live with it like this. So yeah, that's what I've ended up with. I mean, I don't really know how much I like all this. I mean, it kind of stands out against the black bookshelves, but honestly so did all the really nice spines that I paid for. So yeah, I can see why this might make like a really nice Instagram background or like a filming background. I don't know, I think even if I turned all my books around, like, it doesn't really work when they've got like the sprayed spines anyway, the sprayed edges, and like, I just like the book art. I don't think I'm gonna keep it this way. It was fun to do. I mean, it's kind of fun to see like which shelves I kind of really need to work on, and like, yeah, I know, it's the hardback shelf at the top, I know. I mean, would this encourage me to read more? I mean, if that was like the only way that I was allowed to turn them back, then yeah. But also, I like seeing the spines. I like thinking, oh, I want to read that one next because, like, it interests me. Like, sometimes you'll see a book on the shelf and you'll think, that's what I want to read next. But, like, when they're like this, I don't know what's what. Like, what the hell are any of these? What are they? Seriously, I haven't read them. Somebody tell me what they are. So yeah, don't expect it to look like this the next time you come to one of my videos. I mean, if you come back. I'm assuming that you're gonna come back, but like, I mean, you might not. I couldn't blame you. Honestly, I just kind of like really watching videos of people messing with their shelves and doing stuff with their shelves and like, but yeah, tell me, like, do you do this to your shelves? Like, do you keep them the wrong way? I say the wrong way. I mean, you can keep it whatever way you want, but like, do you keep it this way on purpose all the time, or like, is this a challenge that like you're taking part in, or would keeping your books like this just be like an absolute no for you? Because I feel like it's a no from me. So yeah, there's not really anything else to do. I mean, feel free to roast me in the comments below for all the books I have not read. I know, I'm working on it, I promise. I'm really trying. I'm really trying. I know, I buy more books every single month and I'm like, I'm so excited to read all of these, and yeah, here we are. I seriously don't know how there can be people out there who like buy a book and read that one book and then put it on a bookshelf and then buy another book. Like, those people must be made of an absolute iron will, and like, I both envy and fear you, my dudes, because I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. I'm like a magpie. I've got to hoard them all. I'm like a book dragon, you know? I'm just hoarding all the books. Yeah, there isn't really much more to say about this video, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I kind of enjoy doing it. Like, I like messing with my shelves. You know, I mean, I put all my books in a really nice order and I decorate the shelves and then I fuck it up. It's just what you do. So yeah, I hope you found this entertaining or something, at least. You know, maybe you'll consider watching some of the other crap that I post online. Anyway, I guess that's it. Thanks so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you guys in another video. Possibly. Maybe. I mean, if we're being honest, probably not, right? Peace out, BookTube.